Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I gotta say,
swag.
I love that anime Underhaven fire and logo. Who did that? That's awesome.
Sinjay.
Our friend Sinjay. You guys should hit him up because I'm sure he'd be able to help you guys out, make some cool shit. He made this fucking overlay too. He's made a lot of the really cool shit that we have on this show. You guys can check him out below. He does a lot of fucking really good work for really fucking cheap. I think SWEGTA also commissioned an intro off him at some point.
I think I only paid him like $5 and he was totally cool with it. So I mean,
yeah, that's what all he asked for is like a very, very little amount for cool shit like that. So yeah, go and give him your support if you guys are ever looking for work because he's
hell yeah.
You definitely sold me at cheap. So
yeah. Oh yeah, I was sold at cheap and that quality, cheap and quality. I wait for the quality after. I don't stop at just cheap.
I didn't pay for that intro, man. Like the way that I met Sinjay is that he just sent us that intro out of the blue one day, and he was like, "Here, I made this for you because I'm a fan of your podcast, and I think that it would be cool if you had something like this to play at the start of your proper fucking intro." And I'm like, "Holy shit, thanks, man."
Dude, I was not aware of that. So thank you, Sinjay.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, thanks, man.
Hell yeah, we love you.
Sinjay killed it.
And I am fond of you as well, Simjay.
Yes.
I won't go as far to say love, but I definitely am fond of you and would like to get to know you more.
Yeah, but if you make them an intro, maybe they will love you. So you know what to do.
You make that intro good, I take that ass to Red Lobster. So look.
Oh damn, dude.
Cheddar biscuits, bitch.
Yeah, I want those fucking biscuits. You guys are making me hungry already. God damn.
Hannibal won't even take me to Red Lobster. What the fuck, man?
Because you think Stan is not a great Eminem song, so that's why.
You don't have good enough taste, so you wouldn't be able to appreciate the Red Lobster.
Exactly. You wouldn't even be able to appreciate the cheddar biscuits. You ain't got no taste, man. Perfect.
This is for Colin. Ball up a fist and keep that shit balled like Donald the bitch.
See?
So yeah, we're on YouTube now. We're trying out YouTube. This is our first stream where we're trying it out on YouTube and not Twitch. So hey, everybody, what the fuck's up? I hope you guys like it here on YouTube. Maybe we'll pick up some new people, get some new viewers. But yeah, other than that, we're bringing this shit back. We're gonna get back into doing this shit like once a fucking week. Next week, we're going to be having Girl Does Rant on, who's absolutely fucking an awesome guest. Have you guys ever had Girl Does Rant on your show?
We haven't. I don't even know who she is.
You guys need to reach out to her because, she was, I met her through, like, she used to be, like, a pretty prominent DP guest. She used to be on there all the time, and she's really fucking insightful and smart, and she's just a fucking fun person to have on, so I think that she'd fit in just well with what you guys are doing. So you guys should reach out to her on Twitter. Maybe check out one of her streams if you want to make sure that she's up and with what you guys are usually doing on your show.
Hey,
but yeah,
I don't care if as long as like your tagline on Twitter doesn't say "I hate niggers." We'll probably get along.
Dude, I'm glad we're not on Twitch anymore because we would have just lost our account, man.
See, Monty, you got to watch your fucking language, man.
I can't believe that just fucking happened, dude. All right.
This might be kind of like
did I touch something?
I think you just
happened?
accidentally segued into our first video, actually.
Oh god.
Did I really? Oh shit. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Wait,
Controversy
the YouTube video I'm looking at right now, it says it's starting, but it hasn't started yet.
Oh, you might have to like refresh the
Yes,
link
somebody in the
it.
chat
Yeah.
said, "Yay, we live." So I think we're live.
Yeah,
Let us
yeah,
know,
we are.
audience.
Yeah,
They
let us
said-
know.
So mine isn't doing it. That's so interesting. What the hell?
And I just found Girl Does Rant. Okay. I just added her on Twitter.
Yeah, dude, she's awesome. She's really fucking cool.
And you know how I know we should have her on the show? Because she retweeted the picture that I just texted to Hannibal. So there you go.
Hell yeah, man! You guys have the same interests, dude. I would love to see her on your show. So I hope that this becomes a thing. Hell yeah!
All right. It has to be after January because voting starts for Golden Turd's Guest of the Year. And Animancer, you're in the running.
Holy
So-
shit, man!
So
Fuck yeah!
get ready when your name pops up. You'll be tagged in it. I'll share it on Twitter. But
All right, man.
you're in the running. There's like 40 people, I think, going at it for Shit Show Guest of the Year.
That's pretty
So-
cool, man. I like that you guys do that. That's an interesting idea. I like that.
Yeah, we'll see who likes who the most. Jeff Holiday has the biggest audience that he can weaponize to win. So
Damn it! I should have entered. Should have joined.
you were almost there. We
You're
had
supposed to
scheduling
be there.
conflict, Swegta. You were supposed to be there. But we can redo it. We're not mad at you. We still love you. Like shit.
Yeah, we got to
happens.
get your ass on there sometime early next year, man. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, I royally fucked up on that.
Yeah, your avatar is on that show.
Yeah, so technically I'm
your
on.
avatar makes a cameo. Hell yeah!
I was there.
Yeah,
Controversy
You were just
cost him
really
his
sick and
company,
couldn't
his
say anything, you
coworkers,
know?
and some of his closest friends. But John Schnatter says one of his most painful casualties from the Papa John's catastrophe.
If I could have
Oh,
one thing
shit.
back, I'd put the name back on the stadium. I haven't been to a football game yet. That hurts.
The University
Sweaty
of
guy.
Louisville, University
Oh,
of
by the way, it's reversed because copyright.
Kentucky, Ball State, and Purdue all cut ties with Schneider after he used the N-word while on an internal conference call on
What the
diversity
fuck?
training.
Yeah, on diversity training too.
Dude, you better watch out, guys. Your channel's not going to get sponsored by Papa John's or anything anytime soon.
we should go for that sponsorship, Hannibal. We can give him a better image.
Papa John's is the least
Whoa.
disgusting
Oh.
nationally distributed pizza.
Holy shit, Hannibal!
Yeah.
Jesus.
You sound like a transformer, man. That's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
See, I
More
knew
than
something-
meets the eye.
I knew
Yeah,
something weird was happening. Okay.
Hannibal sounds like he's trying to tell the city that he's about to poison them.
Yeah.
First off, I'm not wasting
There
my
we
good
go.
poison on the city. You think poison grows on trees these days?
I mean, sometimes.
I mean, you just gotta know your fucking leaves and shit, right?
Oh shit, Hannibal. And look, this is how we run our show. I'm about to pitch an idea to Hannibal live on your show. The comic that we're talking about doing for promo? It's gonna start with you hijacking the news feed for the entire city, making a threat, and then me stopping you, going, "Why are you doing this? We don't have the money for that. Stop." And then it gets into our story.
Yeah, you get.
So
I
there
like
you go.
it.
Listen, views of a Jew, work ethic of a Mexican. All right, I got you, so I'm with it.
I'm glad we're not on Twitch anymore, Swig.
Yeah.
Here's why
I think-
Underhaven's no longer on Twitch.
I think we
Did my
dodged a
voice-
bullet.
Yeah, did my voice get better, or is it still crunchy?
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
shit?
good
Oh,
now.
it's better. It's
Oh,
better.
you sound good now, man.
All right, thank you. It's
All
so
right.
weird. Okay, I thought it was just Skype, but I see it's everywhere now. Okay.
All right,
Got
back to this.
For the first time, he's sharing new details about that call.
Well, the conference call was taped. It was secretly taped. That's good for me because I didn't say anything that was racist.
In fact, Schneider says he was quoting another famous founder, trying to convey his hatred of racism. He believes that secret recording will reinforce his side of the story.
Sooner or later, the tape's going to come out in public, and people are going to go, "Wow, that's what he said." And so that's what he said. And they're going, "They made this out of that." They know what they did. They know it was a setup. They know this thing's an entire farce.
Schneider believes the people who set him up were part of his circle of trust. and were motivated by money.
Wait, hold on. Rich people fucking over each other to gain profit?
I don't.
What? No.
Dude,
I don't understand how people are sitting around waiting to set you up. That's where I get confused at. I'm not, and I still haven't judged this guy as a racist yet. But I'm also kind of too forgiving of Paula Deen, as I've heard from some people. So I'm
a white woman that makes fried chicken, Monty gave her a pass super quick. So.
you know what the funniest thing is to me about all this fucking shit is that the only thing, like, because I was waiting to actually like hear about this story because I wanted to react to it on the show, but the only thing I saw about it on social media is like, holy shit, Papa John got all sweaty and talked about eating 40 pizzas in 30 days, guys.
That's the video.
Statement. Yeah, that's the statement that people have to make about all of this, is that he ate 40 pizzas in the last fucking month.
So, when I pulled this video, I was looking for like the original source, and I couldn't find it. And I found like a bunch of YouTube uploads, and a lot of those uploads have people saying that he looks like the type of dude who would be like in a zombie apocalypse and not tell people he's been bitten. Like in this video, that's what he comes off as.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is that guy. And look, I say this. When the zombie apocalypse happens, and I'm going to tell Swag and Animancer, if somehow we end up in the same group, don't wear long sleeves, because I'm challenging anybody with long sleeves on. And
what?
It's not a thing. I might want to occasionally look at your belly. Like, hey, lift your shirt. I want to see if you've been bitten. I'm
so
a
what,
spot
do I
check.
like have to show off my midriff or like at all times?
Yeah, I'm gonna spot check people. Y'all can spot check me, but if you've been bitten, I don't want to get up early in the morning to get my coffee, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Animancer? Oh, I'm good." And then all of a sudden, you're like, "Ah!" And I gotta kill you before I have my first sip of coffee. Fuck that.
Well, I'm just gonna wear a crop top then.
All right, yeah. And I'm just gonna kill you when I see the bite. Like, no hard feelings. I still love you, but you've been bitten. I'm sorry, dude.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but what if I start dancing in like some type of Michael Jackson music video? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, you gotta let me know, because I'm checking for bites on everybody. Because I'm always cautious of that dude. He's in every zombie show. The guy that's been bitten but doesn't want to tell people.
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker, you're gonna turn, and we got to deal with it. What if it's early in the morning and I haven't had my first sip of coffee? We got stable. We got coffee, and you're gonna turn on me early in the morning? Fuck you.
Dude, I like how Papa John's fucking story got you talking about the zombie apocalypse, man. What's that say about our fucking society? Man, any fucking minute, we could just fucking
take a look at Papa John, and we're like,
apocalypse.
we got. It's not fun, but sometimes you gotta kill somebody. It has to happen.
Yeah. Like sometimes you gotta kill a kid. So look, just just roll with it. All right. If God wanted them to live, he wouldn't have made them kids. All right. So there you go.
See, here's why Underhaven's no longer on Twitch.
I was gonna say, like Papa John looks like he looks like a coach, like a little league coach, or he coaches like middle school football or something, and he just bet a bunch of money on the game for his team to lose, and his team got like a rousing speech at halftime, and now they're winning, and he's thinking about like how he's gonna stop his kneecaps from being broken. Like he's looking at it like damn it, we've been bad all year. Like he's just like he really needs the team to catch an L right now.
Yeah, it's like he's like looking at his team now, and they're like, "We did it, coach!" And he's like, "Oh, fuck."
He's trying to figure out how fast he can get to his car in the parking lot. Like, if
before he has an accident.
I can beat traffic.
They wanted to get rid of me because
to me he looks like the sweaty guy from Star Wars.
So they wanted, they wanted the money, which is a motivator, and they thought they could run the business better without me. When it finally gets out what they did and what was said, I think my phone's gonna ring off the hook, going, "Wow, we made a huge mistake here." I don't think the public buys this nonsense. I think the board hung on to it, embellished it, and created a false narrative in order to throw me out of my own company.
The new CEO is former Arby's president, Rob Lynch.
See, here's the thing with a fucking with the type of culture we live in, it's made me like so unsure. Like I just never know. Like, is this person like legit like fucked up, doing fucked up things, or is the outrage like for a good reason, or is it not? Because people get outraged over anything these days. So I'm like, okay, what's real, what's fake? It like all this fucking outrage over shit that doesn't matter makes it hard for when there's actually like a real fucking thing that's going on that we should really be concerned about and actually talking about.
Yeah.
No, hold on. Let's have an argument about who should run Papa John's. Come on.
All right.
I don't think Papa John is someone that we should be outraged about. I'm just gonna put that out there. I agree. Think he's that big of a threat.
He's not even in charge of the company anymore.
Yeah, Papa John makes one of the best fast food level pizzas that you can get.
Hey, Papa John's or Domino's? I won't even bring Pizza Hut into this equation.
Yeah,
because
Papa John's over Domino's. Papa John's.
I had Domino's a couple days ago, and sometime last week, and I was like, 'cause I hadn't had it in like 10 years, and I was like, you know what? I haven't had this in a decade. Maybe it's not as bad as I remember. And I was like, so I like that the crust is basically garlic bread, and everything, you know, but the pizza still tastes exactly like the box I'm eating it out of. So
yeah.
See. So Papa John's wins on that, and I'm like,
John's is better.
And look, I want to say this, Zoe, if you're watching this, I think you are because you usually watch streams. Put Papa John on the list. Figure out how to get in touch with him. I want him on the shit show.
Yeah.
He's never been a CEO. He has no pizza experience. He's never been in the pizza category. He doesn't really have a passion for quality. And probably most important, he doesn't have a passion for people.
For now, Schnatter says he has a bad taste in his mouth for both the pizza and the company that bear his name.
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days.
Jesus fucking Christ.
There's the line.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what went viral right there.
Yeah.
Probably the most meaningless line in the entire video, honestly, but because it's so ridiculous, it's so funny. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But I believe him. Like, look at him. He's had that many pizzas.
Yeah, he looks like the type of guy who just got through
pizza.
like the type of guy who just got off a pizza binge month.
Yeah.
40 in the past 30 days. Jesus.
And it's not the same pizza. It's not the same product. It just doesn't taste the same.
And yet I keep eating them.
The pizza, the way they put in the pizza together is just not fundamentally sound to what makes
Look, after you have it 40 times, I feel like you know. So I'm
no, you got to make sure.
Look, Papa John has been in the racist pizza business for a long time. I feel like he knows his shit. I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, all you really need is 3, though. Like 3 pizzas is enough to figure out if they're doing it right.
Yeah.
I've had 3 pizzas, and you know what? They're not doing it right. But 40, you might sound a little crazy. I'm not saying you're crazy, man. But
what if they have 10 pizzas and he tried each one 4 times just to make sure?
Oh my God.
That's still too much.
Because then he's got that Italian meat fest. You know what I'm saying? He's got the pineapple ham jump off. You know what I'm saying? There's the one with the fucking spinach and Alfredo sauce, whoever the fuck that's for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's got to try them all a couple times just to make sure. And he was like, you know what? These aren't better ingredients. This isn't better pizza.
This is shit. Dude, you know what this reminds me of? I'm sure you guys heard that, you know, like Colonel Sanders, like after like he lost control of KFC, like he didn't like their fucking food at all. He thought that they completely ruined what he had originally created, his recipe and all that shit. So this is the same thing basically happened with Papa John's. It's like he started this company. It still bears his name and everything, but he's completely disenfranchised with the current state of the company, and they really can't do jack shit about him saying all the fucking shit that he's saying about them. It's really kind of funny to me that, like, you know, I guess in this case, like, Colonel Sanders was still the mascot of KFC, so it was even more funny, and he's not really the mascot, but it does still bear his name. So it's pretty funny.
True.
Papa John's pizza.
Yeah.
They don't make the pizza the way that
like even Papa John doesn't like Papa John's, I guess.
Yeah. Papa John hates Papa John's. And you know, and I want to give him props because I've seen him catch himself. He wanted to say, yeah, these niggas don't know how to make the pizza like I do.
Now look, if he said that on a conference call, I don't think he should lose his job. All right.
Okay. All right.
It just doesn't taste the same.
Since his departure, Papa John's has tried to distance itself from John Schnatter. It's fighting struggling sales.
Oh, hell yeah.
Slogan.
Yeah, trying to distance yourself from the person that your company is literally fucking named after seems a bit fucking, you know.
Right.
Oh shit, we got someone smiling,
I
guys.
think if you had Shaq in the right role, I think he'd do great.
But make no mistake, John Schnatter plans to share more than just his wealth.
I would just say.
Also, his
tuned.
penis.
All right, check this out. This is awesome.
The day of reckoning will come. The record will be straight.
Why not set the record straight now? I mean, what is it about the record that's not straight?
Stay tuned.
How soon?
What?
Stay tuned. Sooner than
Stay
later.
tuned. The day of reckoning will come.
I've never had pizza leave me on a cliffhanger before.
Dude, I hope this guy doesn't live near any schools or anything. I just want to make that clear because I don't know. I think he might go in their cafeteria and steal all their pizza. That's all I'm saying, man.
Man.
True. Like,
Oh, I thought you were gonna imply something way more fucked up for a second.
I would never do that, man.
No, because I'm watching this video and he's talking about like the day of reckoning, and you mentioned schools, so I was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Oh shit.
This dude is.
That smile.
He's a super villain in training. Like,
yeah.
Just go for it, Papa John. Like,
he would be like, but he wouldn't be like he would be like the Penguin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
he
would be like, or like Dumb Riddler. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm telling you, if Zoe can get this guy, you get a bonus on your pay, Zoe. Papa John, I want him on the shit show. And we're not gonna call him out on anything. We're just gonna do our regular shit with him, like we do with any guest. Like, it's not about your shit. We're just gonna talk with you. Like, let's do some fair files. All about people saying nigga.
I kind of like the idea of Dumb Riddler now. I kind of like that idea. Of just like he's just like, what's gold and round and opens doors. You're like a doorknob? Like, he's just.
How did you figure that out?
Shit.
You've been looking at my notes. I like it. We need to create it. Dumb Riddler.
I'm looking at this guy right now, and I'm like, this guy could be the next Joker. This could be the real life Arthur Fleck, dude. Look at this guy. Look at that smile.
Yeah.
Yes. Did he at any point say he's not into politics?
Dude, he basically might as well have been like, people will die.
Yeah. Yes. This city will burn. Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. I didn't mean
I didn't mean to. Yeah, fuck. He just slowly starts applying like Joker makeup over the course of this interview, and by the end, he's just completely turned into the fucking Joker.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Oh, dude, Animancer, I'm gonna make you agree with Piers Morgan.
No, you aren't.
Oh shit.
Oh yes, I am.
Oh shit. I want to see this.
We'll see about this.
Good morning.
Let's take the serious side of this first. What is upsetting, genuinely, about clapping?
So there's the topic of the video.
Wait, about
Clapping.
what?
Clapping.
Like applause?
How else am I gonna fucking clap those cheeks, dude?
That's you beat me to it. It's like, what is strippers supposed to do at the strip club?
Look,
seriously.
That's one of the things I love about Animancer. The blackness creeps through every now and then, and he says stuff like, "How you gonna clap those cheeks?" Like, yeah, bro, I see you, bro.
Oh yeah.
In my head, on the other side of the screen, you look like Logic. In my head, I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've compared me to him before.
Yeah. Look, Logic is dope. All right, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
Rap his ass off and shit, brother. I fuck with Logic. If you're watching the show right now and you want to be on Hannibal Monty shit show, just know you have friends here. Okay.
Yeah, and just know, Animancer, I do the same shit with my daughter because her mom's white, and I'm always like, Zoe, I see your whiteness creeping through. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Damn, man. Yeah.
But she takes it. She knows I'm just fucking around. I love her no matter what.
And also people
So,
with
there you go.
anxiety. It's also people who use hearing aids. Clapping can be disruptive to that. People who have sensory processing issues, it can be very distressing and overwhelming
You
to
gotta
have those
snap
loud,
instead.
sudden noises.
But it is part of our culture, isn't it, to clap? If you go to the theatre or you go to a lecture or you go to a performance or you go to a gig, you would expect that people would clap.
Yeah, absolutely. And that could be preventing people from going to those events, which is a real shame.
Well,
So
don't they
something-
have like special like theaters and stuff for people who have those types of sensory issues?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit
they
like
do.
That?
Yeah, it's called it's staying fucking inside. That's what it's called.
Yeah, and if you want to go to an event and you're scared of clapping, I sympathize with you. I really do. I'm sorry that bothers you. I truly am. I understand it's sudden. You can't handle the sudden eruption of clapping and cheering. I get it. Stay the fuck home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that difficult to avoid. Like generally, if there's going to be an event in which someone's going to do that shit, and if you get the feeling that someone's going to do that shit, then just go walk somewhere else where you're not going to be bothered, and you don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, if I go to the World of Coca-Cola in Atlanta, that museum, if I go there and I leave and complain that I consume too much sugar, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's another thing too, right? When it comes to this whole when it comes to sounds and shit like that, you know what else is really loud and really annoying sometimes? Fucking sirens, like on police cars, on ambulances, on all that shit. But they're necessary. Like we need to have those. There's a reason why things are loud, and there's a reason why clapping and applause are loud. It's because it's supposed to make a statement. Like it's not as important as what I just fucking said before, but they're loud things that you're going to encounter out in the real world, and there's nothing stopping it because they're part of everyday life.
Yeah, and seriously, people, just stop it. We are going to lose if y'all keep doing this. Because look, I say this all the time. I'm liberal as fuck. I lean almost all the way to the left. But stop, people. We're gonna lose if y'all keep doing this bullshit.
They're not gonna stop
doing this bullshit. Stop it.
They aren't
You're
gonna
making
stop.
all of us look bad. All of us look bad when you do this. Stop it. Racism is a thing. Let's deal with it in a rational way. We can win if we do that. I promise you.
I have overwhelmingly left-wing ideas, man, but I don't identify as left-wing. I don't know. I have no political labels at all. I don't identify with anything. I'm not liberal, libertarian, left-wing. I'm not any of those fucking things. Yeah. And the only reason why is because I don't like getting strawmanned by people who are I'll be having a conversation with someone about a specific issue, and then they'll be like, well, you call yourself a liberal, so you must think this way about this, and therefore I've trumped you in this argument. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And that's the thing. That's why I claim the label, because I want those arguments to come, because I can go, no, look, we are balanced. We are sane. I'm a crazy motherfucker.
I think that's fair.
I should not be the voice of reason. I should not be the voice of reason because I'm a crazy motherfucker. I look more sane than a lot of the people that I respect and are on my side. I'm like, stop it. Y'all sound fucking nuts and you're hurting us. This is why Trump's gonna win again. And I don't mind that publicly.
I don't mind the arguments. I don't like the whole idea that people are gonna presume all of my positions based on some kind of label. Even when I reject that shit, people still assume shit. One of my close friends assumed that I'm a nihilist who fucking stands for nothing because I reject both ends of the political aisle.
Because you watched some Rick and Morty, right?
Great show. Great show.
I'll be honest, I can't fucking...
Actually a great show.
And that's...
People are gonna get pissed at me for this, but I think it's fucking boring. I'm sorry.
Oh, damn, man. You don't like Rick and Morty? Man.
I don't dislike it. It's just uninteresting.
Yeah,
You've never seen Rick and Morty? No. I'm not gonna be that guy who's like, oh, watch Rick and Morty. Take your time, watch it when you want to watch it. I think it's an enjoyable show. I think you'll like it too.
I'm gonna watch it. Me and Hannibal are gonna watch it together on our channel. So
yeah,
sweet.
I think it's a better show if you haven't had to deal with the fans first. I went into it blind, and I was like, all right, well, let me see what this is. And then the more I watched it, I was like, oh, this show's pretty dope. You know, but if I had gotten it from the perspective of people being like, oh my God, this is great. Like, I can remember working at this place and all of these people I worked with were telling me how great this movie, The Royal Tenenbaums, was. It was like, oh, this is the greatest movie ever. If you don't love this movie, you're stupid, you're blah, blah. And I literally watched the movie from the perspective that I wanted to hate the movie because I hated them. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there's certain, and Monty and I talk about this because I made this a partial What's Eating Hannibal when we had Frylock on the show. There are certain fan bases that are so passionate that I call them anti-fans because they literally push people away from the thing that they love. So it's like it's like Game of Thrones. People love Game of Thrones so much they make people that are on the fence about Game of Thrones be like, I don't want to deal with this shit if it's gonna turn me into whatever the fuck you are.
Star Wars fans, that's a big one that people complain about. Like I think a lot of Star Wars fans' complaints are justified. But that is one, you know, the fandom menace is a big turnoff for a lot of people. They're like, what the fuck is this? Yeah.
Dude, I just realized I'm like one of those people. I'm like one of those people because I'm a huge Bully fan, and a lot of people think I'm an asshole. They think I'm a loudmouth. So maybe I'm like a bad example of my own group.
You're a bad influence.
Well, you're not telling people they have to consume the thing you like. Like I get toxic fandom. That's what it is. Like in high school with me, I fucking hated Marilyn Manson. Never heard a bit of his music because of the people I went to school with that liked him. Like these are all dickheads, and they're always wearing his merch and promoting him. Like fuck these people, fuck him too. Until I listened to whatever the EP was that had Sweet Dreams on it. Yeah, and
Smells Like Children.
Shit. Smells Like Children. Yeah. I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker is amazing. Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Or some universities say, actually, we're going to be more inclusive and do jazz hands instead. That'd be lovely. More people could get involved.
And then what would be the penalty if you clapped?
I ain't doing jazz hands, man.
Yeah,
you are. Can I do anything else? Can I do anything else? Can I do literally anything else other than jazz hands, please? I can't snap, but I'll learn. I will learn. I do not want to do jazz hands. No.
Yeah. Like anything else. Like, can I pull my meat out and start beating it? Like, that's
yeah, that's a sign of respect more so than doing your fucking jazz hands.
It's like, you're so good, I'm about to jack off. There you go. It's quiet.
Sweet.
Just don't look.
Frankly, I don't think anyone's going to say, like, you need to leave. But if you were persisting with clapping, even though you've been requested to do something, that's not very polite, is it? Like, I think people understand if you're requested to do something in a specific context, you can do it.
Would it stop you, Andrew, if you were somewhere and you felt the urge to clap someone and yet they'd said, we don't clap here?
Well, no, it wouldn't. But what we don't do is completely restructure society and completely change societal norms in order to accommodate the sensibilities of a few people.
Holy shit! Okay. Do they actually have a voice of reason on?
Well,
wow.
Well, I mean, yeah. Like, okay. So what's this? I feel like this is just a headline, meant to like generate controversy because, like, at the end of the day, like, sure, like if someone individually like asks you, "Hey, can you not do this thing?" Like, sure, it's okay. Like, there's no issue with that. Like, yeah, sure, you should probably not do something if someone asks you on an individual level. If you cannot in a good like way like that, I don't have any issue with that at all. And that's what I guess that's what they're trying to say, but they don't make it sound like that. It literally says, "Should we ban clapping?" And then this guy's like, "No, we shouldn't restructure society and tell people what to do in that regard. Like, we should just be sensitive to the people around us." And I'm like, okay, that's agreeable enough, but that's not anything to do with what you're putting on the fucking screen. That's been on the screen since we started this video. Should we ban clapping?
It's like, should we ban clapping? Now here's like a generic fucking guy to describe the reality we live in instead.
Yeah, fuck that.
Interesting. Just reading a story about this on the BBC News website. An individual called Hannah from Weymouth in Dorset she struggles with loud noises like clapping. She was diagnosed with autism when she was 23. She says, "I don't agree with a ban on clapping. Instead, let's raise awareness of autism, because this could breed resentment if other students start to harbour bad feelings towards autistic people Or perhaps.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, no, that's right. I mean that would happen in the case that you try to ban it. Like there would be fucking people who would just blame the people who are, who are sensitive to that type of thing, and that is not the solution at all. Because you don't want to build up resentment of people who like have issues like this, because then they're just going to be assholes who, like, on their own time, like out of fucking school when they're not being controlled by authority, they're just going to be like, hey Jimmy, I heard you didn't like clapping, and they're just going to clap their fucking hands as much as they fucking can around them. It's just going to be a new way for people to fuck with people and bully them. Like, just, I don't know. It's ridiculous in my opinion. It's making an issue.
A whole bunch of text messages with the hand clap emoji in it. Just to
yeah, dude. Yeah.
You click them a video. You click them a video and say, "Hey, make sure the sound is on," and they click on, and it's just
dude. Claps between every single word. That's how you know you're serious, right?
Yeah, look. And you know how these aren't black people? Because when we get mad, we talk like this. So, it's like, stop. No. Like, this is bullshit. I don't agree.
Look at Hypothesis in the chat, Monty.
What did Hypothesis say?
Oh my god, what's he saying now?
It's telling me I'm offline. See, he's clapping with the pumpkins.
Oh damn!
Yeah, we're not going to do the pumpkin article here. Hypothesis, it's not happening.
To clapping. I mean, that is a danger, don't you think? That there are people who would say, "Why are we banning everything just for a small proportion of people?" and blaming them.
Dude,
I think that's definitely.
Swag, to pause this for a second. Look in the chat. The clapping emoji's not showing up.
Oh,
they did ban clapping, dude.
Oh shit!
It's not on screen. We can't see. They did it. They fucking banned clapping. Fuck.
Holy shit.
W's and one.
Hashtag they did it.
Oh yeah, they fucking did
Banned.
it. Yep, banned. Good thing we left Twitch, man. Good thing we left Twitch.
Possible, but we shouldn't kind of meet the expectations of those judgmental people. There's a lot of anger towards people with allergies as well. Say on planes, if you're not allowed to have nuts, you'll find people say, "Oh."
Okay, but that's a medical condition. Like, we're talking about people who are bothered by something, not people who could potentially die by being close to that thing.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's a shitty
and
example.
I see you, Shabisky, in the chat. Yep, we got to get you on in January, not December. It's going to make Golden Turds complicated. January, Shabisky.
Hell yeah, man.
Dude,
we're gonna have Shabisky on here sometime soon too.
Yeah, but having nuts on a plane is not sort of part of our cultural heritage. Clapping in a gig and in a theatre is just a totally normal thing to do.
It's totally normal, but that doesn't mean it can't change.
Actually, is this a sign of the fact that we are accommodating?
I honestly, like, it's just one of those things that's so ingrained in our culture that there's no way that you could change it without forcing it. Because, like, for it to like, if it happens naturally, like, maybe by some chance people will find a completely different way to do the same thing that we've done for years, but it's very unlikely. People are just gonna keep on clapping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean.
What about? I wonder if they're cool with, like, maybe we can bring back the Arsenio Hall dog pound where we're like,
yeah, dude.
I
like we can bring that back. Like, I'd be cool with that if that was the thing. Like, we don't.
I'd be cool with that too.
We do the dog pound.
How many people would have to be realistically offended by clapping for us to consider getting rid of clapping?
Oh, a huge chunk of the population.
But like over like 50%? You think more, less?
I'd say like 10 to 50%, something like that.
Yeah.
And even then, some people would still do it.
Yeah. People, it would become like a thing that like people would do while wearing their MAGA hats to like protest the system. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they'd be like, put your MAGA hat on, clap, and
do the okay sign at the same time.
Yeah. Do the okay sign while playing the national anthem, standing with your hand on your heart. How do you do all that at the same time? I don't know. They'd figure it out.
They would
maybe
figure it out.
Over-accommodating people who complain about stuff, while acknowledging it can cause problems for some people, but not changing.
I think that's what's so worrying about all of this. Actually, it's not just about the jazz hands, the clapping thing. It's about the broader culture. You know, what this is about a broader attempt to infantilize our student body, right? So it ties into things to do with trigger warnings and safe spaces and to basically coddle students when actually what university is about.
Oh man,
is
this guy's
educating them
pretty
to life in the real
based,
world.
honestly.
Am I looking at an alt-writer? What is this?
Yeah, dude, look at his haircut, man. He must be alt-right.
You go out into the real world, people are going to be applauding in theatres,
tell an
at
alt-righter
sports
by
events.
their
Have you talked to
hair,
any
man.
major sport?
I mean, I was not gonna say it, but looking at that chick's hair, I knew what position she was gonna have on this.
Oh my god! Dude, hair tells you a lot about somebody. Hair tells you a
Yeah,
lot.
it does.
This person, they'll tell you that actually it's the applause that keeps them going. It
Hugely
stimulates them. It's really important.
Greg on Twitter says, honestly, a room full of people with odd expressions doing jazz hands at me would make me feel a lot more anxious than if they were actually
Oh my god, yeah, dude, it would be like a bunch of fucking peacocks, like, fucking furring out their fucking feathers at you.
Yeah. Dude, if I fucking stepped into a room and I saw that, I would just 180 out of there. Like, fuck this.
Yeah. But and they're not acknowledging that when you're on a stage, you can't see people doing this.
No.
Because there's lights in your eye.
Also,
Thank you, Hyann, for the donation. Go ahead.
How would I be able to start a slow clap applause with jazz hands?
It's like this.
You know, that would take it away from, like, you know, typical
I got
movie
you.
scenes. You know, like the trope in films where, like, somebody does, like, a slow clap after somebody says something amazing, and then people join in.
Dude.
Like,
Dude, those are gonna get. Dude, imagine if this actually happened. Like, the majority of people did get offended by clapping, and then, like, if people had to go back into those movies and, like, censor out those parts because they don't want people to, like, holy shit, whoa, they're clapping. Holy crap, man!
I mean, like,
man,
they have
really
deep
pushed
fake
the envelope
technology
back
now.
in the
They
day.
could. They have deep fake
Disney
technology.
Plus is
They
gonna
could do
have
that.
Yeah, they
Disney
could.
Disney Plus is going to have to add a warning that this film may contain some clapping.
They're gonna, George Lucas
Clapping
is
of the
gonna go
booty
back.
cheeks, perhaps.
George Lucas is gonna go in and then re-edit Star Wars. So when they destroy the in the first Star Wars, when they destroy the Death Star and the rebels are also the Rebel Alliance is celebrating, everybody just be doing this instead.
Yeah.
Dude, people
What
are
about
gonna finally get behind. People are gonna finally get behind Jeb Bush for saying "please clap" back in the day because he supported
Oh, yeah.
clapping back before anyone else did, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the vast majority of our audience are getting in touch. Very few
Yeah.
saying, I think this is a good idea.
And the fact of the matter is, as you said, you know, perhaps at university people might be okay with that, but they have to go into the real world at some point, don't they?
Yeah, and the real world could change. Maybe we'll become more inclusive, which would be a great.
I don't think it can change in this instance. Like, even if you make all the sense in the world, even if just like granting you that, this would still not possibly happen.
Yeah, you're a lot more likely to like change people's opinions when it's something that actually sounds like not so ridiculous as banning.
Yeah,
clapping.
or incentivizes them somehow.
This is like, should we ban giving the thumbs up? Oh, should we ban pointing at people? You know, because that can be offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure
There you go.
someone's actually said that at some point. Like, you know, I'm sure.
I mean, some people consider it rude, so yeah.
Yeah. Politicians aren't supposed to do it, apparently.
Clapping with the back of your hands instead of palms. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Hyan.
No one knows how to pronounce his fucking name. Everyone just calls him Hyann-san.
Like,
whatever.
Anytime like somebody donates to one of my streams and I see their name and it's like Haftinach or some shit, I'm just kind of like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to enunciate this carefully and not offend this person.
Do what we do. You pick one part of it and say that, and that's their name from there on.
Yeah.
Dude, individual Hyann, dude. Individual Hyann.
Individual.
Individual.
All right, so MSNBC, I don't know if you guys know this, but MSNBC has been, I guess, maybe not censoring, but excluding Yang from a lot of their coverage. Like, they'll have, like, these graphs where they show the candidates, the leading, like, top 6, and they'll just, like, not feature Yang at all. They'll feature people below him, but not him. There's just, like, an empty spot there.
Yeah, they also called him John Yang before, which is, you know, funny.
Yeah, they did. They called him John Yang. They've excluded him on at least 12 occasions now.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is Andrew Yang's response to that. There's a hashtag going around. I think it's a Yang Media Blackout.
Andrew Yang joins us now from the campaign trail in Sioux City, Iowa. Thanks so much for being here.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on, Anna.
Let me ask you, even after everything that came out this week, you said the impeachment proceedings are probably not going to work for the Democrats. Earlier today, I spoke with Democrat Andrew Gillum, who lost a down-to-the-wire race for Florida governor in 2018.
Oh, by the way, this is impeachment shit. There's a lot of that out there. Do you want to skip that, or do you want to respond to that too?
I mean, I guess I can just give my opinion. And honestly, I'm curious if Hannibal and Monty have any opinion on it, because I don't have a strong opinion on it. But honestly, I think it's a fucking waste of time this close to the election.
Yeah,
go ahead. You guys can give your take.
Yeah, I think it is, unless they have a plan that I don't see. When this started, I was like, I don't know that this is a good idea. This isn't going to work.
It's a waste of time.
I think we're going to help him win.
Yeah, it's just emboldening the Republicans, isn't it?
Yeah. And I hate to say that. I don't want him to win, but I think we're going to help him win. Like,
I can't take 4 more years of just talking about Trump in the media. Because here's the thing, man. You know what really pisses me? I've talked about this on the show before and on my other streams, but I cannot stand every day we hear this man's fucking name. All of us, like everyone in this call, we've heard his name every single fucking day for the past 4 years. We're living in his fucking world right now. We're feeding into his delusions of grandeur, which aren't even delusions anymore, because he believes he's the most powerful man on the planet, and right now he fucking is. And people are just letting him get away with it, and rather than actually trying to beat him in the fair way, which is the election process, we're gonna boot him out so his even worse fucking VP can be in for a little while, and he can just get they can just get another fucking chance to fucking beat the Democrats' ass. No, they need to fucking back a candidate that's actually worth fucking supporting. And then look through this bullshit.
Preach. And I'll say this, which is why, going to what we said earlier, why I claim the side I'm on. Because the truth of it is, we're on the right fucking side of history, but we're losing because y'all are acting like, as Dave Chappelle put it, as the great poet Dave Chappelle put it, y'all are acting like a bunch of bitch-ass niggas. Stop it.
Yep.
Calm the fuck down. We're on the right side of history. Just be cool, and we can win.
I had a car full of young liberal voters, and they were literally going through all of the different candidates and why they wouldn't vote for them, or why say, oh, well, you can't vote for Biden because he gets too touchy-feely with girls. You can't vote for Kamala Harris because of, her prison reform stuff back when she was in California.
License and registration.
You can't vote for Bernie Sanders because he talks about rich people, but he is himself rich. Can't vote Elizabeth Warren because she said she was Indian, but she really wasn't. You can't vote for Andrew Yang because how could he effectively give away this much money? You can't vote. And they were just literally, I was like, so who the fuck you gonna vote for? Like, who the fuck is left? Nobody on the left is left. You know what I'm saying?
Any of these fuckers would be better than Trump at this point. Honestly, like any of them.
Vote John Delaney.
Yeah, but see, this is the great thing about the Republican Party and the Republican voters. These fuckers stay together. They're just like, you know what?
Yeah.
This is our guy. I disagree with this, and that, but guess what? He's better than a Democrat, and that's it.
Yeah. Here's the worst part of it all too, is like when we were responding to that shit earlier, like those are left-wing people who are putting out those stupid ideas that we just refuted in that last video. And we're busy, like, because we actually have more integrity to actually, like, disagree with people who are on the same part of the political spectrum as us. A radical idea, I know, but you're right, it is a huge disadvantage that we have, like, regarding, like, the Democrats and the Republicans. It's that, we're more likely to actually be critical of each other, and that's a big part of the problem when it comes to the primaries in general, is that it's all these candidates trying to show you why they're the best and why the other guys are less fit. So then Trump is just going to use that ammo of whoever the other candidates use to shit on whoever wins, and he's going to try and use that same fucking ammo that the Democrats used, because they're better at using that type of shit than the Republicans are, and he's just going to use that.
Yeah, so, are we going to hand it to him, or are we just simply going to be on the right side of history?
I mean, if they keep doing what they're doing now, then they're going to hand it to him.
But see, and this is the thing that I think that the Democrats need to understand. It's like, yeah, we're on the right side of history, but history is written by the winners.
Yeah.
So does it matter?
That's very true. It's very true.
Yeah. You make a good point too, Hannibal. Like and we end up in this weird situation where like extreme is extreme, no matter what side the extreme is on. Let's just do what's right. Why don't we just
Hypothesis said I couldn't help but notice Hannibal didn't mention Tulsi Gabbard. That's because they didn't say anything about Tulsi Gabbard when they were in the car. Because they don't know who Tulsi Gabbard is.
She's hot though.
Yeah, she's pretty fucking hot.
If you give me like three,
that's what anybody says about Tulsi Gabbard. The first thing,
that's what. Yeah.
If you give me like 5 MILF white ladies with brunette hair in white suits, and one of them is Tulsi Gabbard, I don't think most people could pick out the lineup.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, I don't think so, and that sucks because I feel like she should get more TV time. I think they should all get more time because I want to know what everybody stands for. Like, I don't know what John Delaney believes in. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care what John Delaney believes in, but yeah, for most of the other ones, I would like to hear more of their fucking ideas. Like, why not? I don't know. I feel like the media just puts on whoever they want to be the fucking front runner. They shove them in your face. Like, if for the majority of the time at the start it seemed like it was Biden. Now they're leaning towards Warren.
Hence why MSNBC is doing what they're doing. Because they see a candidate like Yang and they're like, nah, not what we want. We're gonna push Biden or Warren or Klobuchar.
Yeah. And what happened to Bernie in 2016? The same fucking bullshit. He got suppressed in the media big time.
And that's why a lot of Bernie supporters have like a lot of empathy for the Yang gang because they're okay, well, the same fucking thing happened to us.
It's gonna keep happening for these people who are coming up and bringing up like, regardless of what people think about UBI, it's a new idea that I think is a discussion at least worth having. So anyone who brings these new ideas to the table, they're going to be scrutinized and fucking basically gate kept out of the fucking party unless Bernie comes in and fucking changes something, which I think he could if he wins, but we'll see.
Yeah. But they've definitely already created the narrative that Bernie Sanders thing is the reason you shouldn't vote for Bernie is he's too old. That's the thing.
Yep.
That's the idea that they're pitching for Bernie. Bernie's getting my vote. All right. When the primary rolls around Georgia, I'm voting for Bernie goddamn Sanders. Super random, but in 2016, I knew a lot of liberals that wanted to vote. I knew just for the sake of this conversation, right? I knew a lot of white liberals that wanted to vote for Bernie Sanders. And when he got screwed out the Democratic nomination in a bunch of different states because of the way the states, picked their nominee, a lot of those liberals turned around and voted for Donald Trump instead.
I know. Yeah. It's really fucking sad. And you know what, though? I feel like a lot of those people have seen through it this time. Like, a lot of people, I feel like they overestimate Trump's ability to win because he won by such a narrow margin last time. And even though his base is more like, emblazoned, I would say, than it was to some extent, I feel like Americans as a whole, like outside his core base, they've turned on him a lot more. And it was a surprise to like even his closest supporters that he ended up winning the fucking the election. So I think that he has a more of an uphill battle than people believe. People always cite that thing, oh well, presidents usually get 2 terms. He's a very fucking special type of fucking president. We haven't had a president like this in quite a long time. So I don't think that historical precedent is necessarily. I don't think it says that much in this case. No. Not at all. He's the most hated president in recent history by far.
No, not according to the polls that he gets in the White House. He is one of the most beloved presidents.
Oh yeah,
he is.
They love me,
Lincoln, right?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that poll that was going around on Twitter recently, where apparently like 53% of Republicans, and I don't know who did the fucking poll, and that probably says a lot, but 53% of Republicans think he's a better president than Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked Jesse Lee Peterson when we were on Drunken Peasants. I was like, he says Donald Trump is the great white hope. I said, is he greater than Reagan? He was like, yep. No pause, no hesitation.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, incredible.
Amazing.
I am on board with impeachment. I think that Democrats are right to move forward. But Anna, we have to face facts that not a single Republican has crossed party lines to support these impeachment proceedings. And we need literally dozens of Republican senators to join the Democrats in the Senate if impeachment is going to be successful. So we have to be realistic about what the prospects are. And to me, my focus as a candidate is solving the problems that got Donald Trump elected in the first place and helping move the country forward. When we're talking about Donald Trump, we are losing. And
okay, so this actually goes to what you said, Monty. It's like, you know, when you talk about impeaching Trump, that just adds to it. That just benefits him in the long run. So what you have to do is incentivize the actual voter base. I tuned into one of the phone banking live streams that some of the people in the Yang Gang do. And a lot of people they called, the reason they have like such little faith in the Democratic Party is because they don't feel it actually does anything for them. They don't feel like it's really taking their struggles into account. Like, you know, the local economies failing, jobs disappearing, malls shutting down, jobs being automated away.
And see, what happens is we have, in this current political environment, we have stopped thinking of our fellow Americans as people, but other sides. Like, we all deal with shit. Like, one of the people I'm closest to in my life voted for Trump. She's a huge Trump supporter. Does that make her a horrible person? No. We need to stop thinking that way. That's what happens with this. It's like we assign labels to people and they're the enemy. And if we keep
exactly.
We're gonna kill each other. I'm like, no, that's
what I'm all about, man.
There's not a racist bone in her fucking body. She voted wrong, and I debate with her all the time, but I still love her. We talk. That's what we do. We're all people. I know why she voted for him, not because she hates brown people. I'm like, stop it. We're gonna give him that win if we keep thinking this way, and we keep thinking everything is this extreme attack against me. Why do you hate me because you did that? Shut the fuck up. Sit the fuck down. As I keep telling Hannibal, like the great modern poet Kendrick Lamar said, be humble, little bitch. Sit down.
That includes in the context of impeaching Donald Trump. We need a new positive vision that Americans can see themselves in, a new way forward.
You are with us tonight, but I'd be remiss if I did not mention you were also invited on MSNBC this weekend, and you turned down that invitation and instead took to Twitter to slam the network, a decision that could be seen as risky during a Democratic primary. We're showing one of those tweets here, which reads...
Well, it's not risky if they're constantly not including him in graphs and shit. I mean, what's he actually losing by doing that?
Yeah.
Part was asked to appear on MSNBC this weekend and told them that I'd be happy to after they apologize on air. What exactly do you want an apology for?
How about fucking him over and completely neglecting the fucking his base? What do you mean? How about inflicting your own fucking agenda upon your viewers instead of telling them the actual factual information as you're presenting it? You're not saying this is who we think should have this percentage or should be shown on screen. You're supposed to be showing who's voting for who and what your actual fucking poll says.
What? No.
Preach.
Oh my God, man, I'm getting heated.
As a sidebar, like the way you timed that, like when she asked the question and then you paused it and went on your rant, I swear I thought that was Andrew Yang cursing on CNN. I was like, fuck yeah, that dude just got my vote and I'm getting $1,000 a month.
I'm clapping for you, Hannibal. I'm clapping for you.
Fuck yeah. Please clap. Please clap.
I got you.
Well, Anna, Americans tuned in to the debate earlier this week, and they saw that I got called on less than any other candidate, including candidates that I'm polling higher than. And the questions I did get had virtually nothing to do with the core ideas of my campaign. And if this were an isolated incident, that would be one thing. But if you go back over the...
It also took them 32 fucking minutes to ask him one single question.
Last number of months, MSNBC has literally omitted me from over a dozen fundraising and polling graphics, which it's not about me. It's about the 300,000 plus Americans who've donated to and support my campaign and the millions of Americans who know We need to rewrite the rules of the 21st century economy to work for us.
See, when the big media is trying to silence someone who's saying these things, it should say a lot to the voter base. I think. That this is someone who at least what it says to me is that this is someone worth supporting, because if they're afraid of what he has to say, impeding on their fucking agendas and their fucking grasp on what narratives are going out and what's being said, then that sounds like a good fucking candidate to me. I don't know, but maybe I'm fucking crazy.
Those people donating $10, $20 of their hard-earned money to put a candidate on the stage and then have MSNBC virtually ignore me for 32 minutes, or when they tune into MSNBC to see how we're doing in the polls, it's like I don't exist. And you can go
he's
through
basically
the
saying what
records,
I'm saying, except without the shouting and the swearing.
Yeah. That's why he's presidential, Animancer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he still swears sometimes.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, he does actually.
Yeah. Like Hannibal Monty 2020 or Monty Hannibal. We haven't figured out who's who, but one of us.
Shit show 2020.
You should definitely vote. Well, you should. Well, I don't. You know what? I was trying to see which one of us made more sense, because I wear a mask, so I don't know if that's gonna fly with America. But then you got the dreads, and you dating a white girl. See, the white girl might help you. So, and then you gonna have those beautiful mixed race babies. Okay, Monty's the president, Hannibal's the vice president.
So it's kind of like how Obama picked Biden because he had appeal to white America.
See, yeah, there you go.
Was that why he chose? I never. You know what? Whenever we at the black people meetings, we never ask Obama what made him choose Biden. So let's ask him next. The meeting's coming up in 2 weeks, Hannibal. So in 2 weeks, we'll ask. So, gotcha.
So Sweg, Animancer, you go to those, right? I haven't seen you at
only half the time.
All right. Gotcha. All right, you might show up when I'm not there, because I can't always make
over and over again. And I'm not the kind of guy who takes offense easily, but at this point you have to call it like you see it.
Do you think there's a specific reason you're not getting the coverage you feel is fair on a network so popular with the left?
Okay. Oh my god. Look at that! Look at that face! Look at that face!
He's right now. He's thinking, "Is Yang gonna have to choke a bitch?"
Yes.
Yep. No, there's no reason. No, none whatsoever. Just a sequence of odd coincidences. 12 times in a fucking row, and they called me John Yang too. So
it's like going to your leasing office. Like, man, every time I go get my mail, I get raped, and they be like, "Well, how many times has it happened, nigga? 12 times. This has happened 12 times. This is a pattern now. At this point, this is a pattern." Okay.
Well, I don't know. What were you wearing?
My old friend.
It's a bit of a mystery to me, Anna, and I hope that when they come clean and acknowledge that they have been suppressing and ignoring me and my campaign for months, maybe they'll actually share with us what the rationale is. All I know is that I'm fighting for the American people. I'm here in Iowa. There are, I'm going to say hundreds, I actually lost track, hundreds of Iowans right behind me, as you can see, who know we need to actually work on solving the problems that got Donald Trump elected. I have no idea why MSNBC does not want to have this conversation.
So far, there are 6 candidates who have qualified for the next Democratic debate in December, which will air here on CNN. You're not one of them who's qualified so far. You've yet to miss a debate, but the bar keeps getting higher.
Yeah, he's one poll away from getting there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he'll do it.
Even Senator Klondike Bar got in before him. What the fuck? That's corruption there.
Fucking
bullshit.
Klobuchar. There's never been like a candidate that I've looked at and had like the same like repulsion as now.
Hey Sweg, what would you do for a Klobuchar, dude?
Nothing.
I get the fuck away from it.
Oh wait, a Klondike bar is just ice, just vanilla ice cream with a chocolate coated shell, right?
Yeah, that's more like Kamala Harris, though, right?
No, that'd be a Ben Carson.
right, yeah.
Yeah. Or like a Sheriff David Howell or something like that. Sheriff David Clark.
I'm glad you found that funny, Monty.
Awesome.
Qualify. Do you have any concerns about missing this one?
You know, Anna, you can see right now we've already blown past the donor threshold. I'm one poll away from qualifying for the December debate. So we'll be on that stage in December. And I want to give a shout out to you and your colleagues at CNN, where I said to Wolf Blitzer just yesterday, I missed having you all moderate the debate because you called it right up the middle. You gave us substantive questions. We had real conversations and exchanges about automation in the 21st century economy.
You actually did your job. Yay.
So really, just full credit to CNN
good job.
for your
You did your
professionalism
fucking job.
and journalistic integrity.
I want to ask you about Michael Bloomberg's $37 million ad buy. Senator Sanders blasted him and accused him of trying to buy the election. How do you see it?
You know, it's going to be really fascinating seeing how the Bloomberg campaign unfolds. I don't think it's possible to replace thousands of face-to-face interactions in Iowa and across the country with ad buys. I just don't see it. I think that he's going to find that spending money in advertising is like pushing on a string, where you get lower and lower returns as you spend more and more money. And you can't buy passion. If you have to put people against money, I will take people every day of the week.
See,
Andrew Yang, I appreciate you.
This is why Monty Hannibal 2020 needs to happen, because me in this interview, if they ask me questions about people, I'll be like, oh, fuck them.
Yeah.
Aleppo, I don't give a shit about that place.
Yeah. No, he was real careful just now because it was like, so rich guy just got in the election, just jumped in the ring and decided to start spending a bunch of money. How do you feel about that, rich Andrew Yang? And Andrew Yang was like, yeah, you can't you can't not get out here and shake hands with people. That's what you got to do because that's what he's been doing. He's like, like he can't jump in the race. Is he Asian? Well, it doesn't count. Like, fuck, that's might as well just like, look, he's not doing what I'm doing.
And
so
see, my answer would be like, oh, him? Fuck him. That's competition. I got this. Me and Hannibal for the win. Like, this is where you want to be. Like, we do our shit. Like, why are we talking about him right now? Fuck him.
I will eat the skin from his bones like General Tso's chicken when I'm finished with this debate. Fuck him.
Yep. And see, that's how I'd answer the question.
Shit.
And then I'd thumb over at Hannibal. I'm like, yep. Just like Hannibal said.
Just like that.
We got this.
Joining us tonight. Thank you and good luck on the campaign trail.
Wait, did I point
Thank
the right
you,
way?
Anna. Appreciate you having me on.
Oh, that way.
Thank you, the Yang Gang.
All right. Sweet.
All right. That's where Hannibal is. He's right there. So I'll point there. All right.
No more billionaire candidates.
Yeah. Look, whenever I have to vote and I see candidates that I don't like, I just write in the vote myself.
Oh, dude.
But what's crazy is I always look at the end results and I always have like 2 or 3 votes. I was like, who else voted? That's amazing.
Oh my god! You know what I just remembered? I remember that screenshot I did. Like it was months back now. I vote for Hannibal. Remember that shit? I put you in with all those Democratic candidates.
Yes, I remember that.
That was awesome, man.
Yeah.
Vote for Hannibal.
I'm gonna have to revisit that picture. I'm gonna have to repost it and let everybody know that. Look here, I'm still in the race, baby.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere, man.
Yeah, right. It's not over yet. It's not over.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody in America would get free race of Papa John's pizza, and Hannibal will punch one person in the face, no questions asked. Right?
Holy shit! No charges. Damn, that's awesome.
Yep. And I'll punch anybody. All right. Regularly able, disabled, men, women, old people, whatever. All right.
Yeah. His campaign will be, you see somebody campaigning, they're walking down the row, shaking hands, and then he notices, oh, I'm supposed to punch him. Shaking hands.
Wham! Yeah.
Shaking the next hand.
Those fists are equal opportunity, man.
Yeah, like no offense, man. I was supposed to punch you for that guy over there.
Yep.
We're good though. If you need me to punch somebody, let me know. I got it. So there you go. That's how Hannibal rolls. That's all right.
All right. So now that we're off Twitch, we can actually shit talk Amazon. So let's do that.
Okay.
You do not need me to tell you. Today is Black Friday, shoppers, the biggest day of the year for shoppers and businesses. And for workers, it is the start of a very hectic sprint to the holidays.
I like how Thanksgiving is right next to it. Like, ultra consumerism, and then it's like,
Yeah.
hey, let's be grateful for what we have.
After we eat a big ass meal, we go and we stand around for fucking hours in the fucking cold, waiting to go get a fucking TV at like 30% off. Man, it's fucking awesome. Don't you wish you lived here in America?
No, not during this season.
The Walmart around my corner was doing $79 PlayStation 4s. So, you know.
Were
they? Yeah.
That's pretty nice, man.
Yeah. I thought about it. I weighed the pros and cons.
I mean, the whole Cyber Monday shit's more popular and gets better deals these days, right? I don't know why people still like do these fucking mosh pits with prizes at the end. I don't get it.
Holidays. According to the National Retail Federation, 115 million people are expected to be shopping today, but just how they shop is about to cross a brand new threshold. For the very first time, shoppers are saying they will be doing more shopping online than in stores this holiday season. This comes as new reporting is pulling back the curtain on the toll this is taking on workers, shift workers at Amazon fulfillment centers, those who are fulfilling many of these orders. According to Reveal, internal injury records from 23 of the company's fulfillment centers show a rate of serious injuries.
All right, I've got a question because I half the time when I ask people this, they don't even seem to remember. But back in the late like the 2000s, right? Like 2009, 2008, around that fucking time. I remember hearing so much good shit about how Amazon would treat their workers incredibly well and how it was so great to fucking work at Amazon. And it's just mind-boggling to me in one decade how much shit can change, because they went from being one of one of the companies that was said to have the best fucking treatment of their workers to one of the goddamn worst, so much so that Bernie Sanders had to knock at their fucking doors to get a proper minimum wage for their fucking workers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everybody I know that works, because there's a couple of those places here in Atlanta. Because Atlanta's one of the cities that gets same day delivery, so you can order it at 9 a.m. and by noon you'll have the shit. And everybody I know that works in the Wish fulfillment centers, they fucking hate that shit. And they tell me these fucking horror stories. That's ridiculous. However, everybody I know that's an Amazon Flex driver that actually delivers the packages, they fucking love that shit.
Okay.
They make $20 an hour and work in 4-hour shifts.
So the drivers get it better. Okay, that makes sense.
The drivers
but
get
I mean,
it
like,
better.
for how long though? Because I mean, like, those jobs, they're close to being gone. Like, it would not surprise me at all if they just vanish within 10 years. The technology to like replace that is like 98% done at this point.
Yeah, I mean, look, at this stage of just human existence, I feel like any skill set you have to figure out like multiple, like you can't just do one thing now, because like at any given moment your industry could be wiped away, and then what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Be like, oh, my whole life all I did was put asbestos in the buildings. Now I don't have any. Like, do so. You got to multitask.
Yeah.
Well, the thing
you
is,
have to have multiple skill sets.
There have been attempts at like retraining people, like coal miners or truck drivers, and that has a success rate. Just like take a guess, like what kind of success rate span you have, like from maybe like 40 to 60.
I'm gonna guess 30%.
Okay, 30.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna guess 4%. I'm going low.
Okay. I'm gonna. Let's see. Or wait. Ask the question one more time, and I'm gonna consider there two answers.
So what do you think the success rate, like the percentage, is of job retraining or skill set retraining?
Okay. All right. Since Hannibal went 4, Animancer said what?
30.
Oh, 30.
30. I think Hannibal's too low, so I'm gonna go 15.
Okay, it's 0 to 15%.
All right.
Oh damn! God damn it, man!
And we're talking about jobs that are disappearing right now.
I started to actually say 1%. And I wanted to give myself some margin of error.
So if you had said 0, the shit show would have just won this shit. outright.
Yeah, dude, I would have had
Oh,
I would have had to end the show right here, right now, man. Good thing that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, but I think there's a caveat that I think there's I don't want to say an asterisk because I haven't seen the study and the numbers, but I would need to know like what people like. This is what I'm saying. If you used to be a coal miner and he's like, well, I always wanted to be a space astronaut, right? Then I would imagine.
No. Like these studies were about like learning to code and stuff like that because that's a big field that's currently expanding.
Yeah. But again, just because you can mine coal does not mean like there's a lot of things that I'm good at. You know what I'm not good at? Cars. Like I'm not good. I'm not good at cars. I can do a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of things I can do well, but cars ain't one of them. And you know, if somebody was like, well, "We're gonna teach you how to be good at cars," like, you better teach me to be good at something else.
Yep.
And you have to bear in mind that, like, you know, different types of people drift towards different kinds of occupations. Yeah. If you have someone who has never had any kind of interest or experience in coding, and you suddenly take them out of a job like being a truck driver and say, okay, you're going to be a programmer now. Like, even if they force themselves to attempt that, the odds of them succeeding are not in their favor. They're probably going to fail. And it's not because of a lack of trying. It's just because that's not something that naturally comes to them.
Yeah. That's like it's like that movie. Oh God, I can't think what it's called. It's Up in the Air with George Clooney, where his job was that he would go around just like firing people for like large corporations and stuff. And it was like there was a scene where he was talking to J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man. I don't remember his name, just but he's talking to that dude, and he's like, he's like, well, I'm looking at your resume from when you first got hired, and it said that you were into cooking. And then they start talking about food and stuff, and he was just like, yeah, man. So let's try to push you to go do that now. It's like we got to go find those other things. Now, if all you good at is driving trucks, then I'm like, well, shit, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, it's not just trucks. It's like the most common jobs in the U.S. Retail.
Yeah.
Like delivery personnel.
Yeah. Look,
services, even like because he's even people working at call centers are going to be replaced now.
Yeah, but like, look, listen. I'm gonna tell you something that all my drug dealers tell me all the time. You can't stay on the block too long, right? Yeah. At a certain point, you got to stop selling crack on the block. You got to go do something else. Like that hustle is only going to last so long. What you thought you was gonna work in a fucking call center for 40 years till you die with a fucking pension and retire in Miami, Boca Raton? No, nigga. Like you gotta learn to do something else. You have to learn to multitask. And I apologize for your parents not telling you otherwise when you were young.
Yep. It's true.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, we're talking about a huge portion of the population. Like, not just truck drivers, but just, like, people in general. I think the 4 most common jobs in the U.S. are in the process of being automated away.
Yeah.
That's going to have a huge fucking impact on so many communities.
Yeah. As I was saying, like, that's part of why I support Yang so much, right? Because he's one of the candidates, only candidates talking about automation. I think he might be actually the only candidate talking about automation right now, and how it's a serious issue that's going to be affecting us. Like,
I know that Gabbard is pro UBI now, and I know that Bernie is kind of gradually coming around to it now that he's noticed people being for it.
Yeah, because originally he wasn't on board with that idea.
Yeah, initially he said, people, they want employment, they want to have a job, and that's part of having a day-to-day routine. A lot of people need that, but a federal jobs guarantee, the problem with that is that like I said, a lot of jobs are being automated away, including those guaranteed jobs. I'd venture to say that most of them are going to be gone in like 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
I'm not against a federal job guarantee. I just don't think that it's a legitimate solution. It would only remedy it ever so slightly.
I think that we need to be putting more time and discussion into bipartisan issues that could benefit all of our country. Like, hey, how about we invest some time into our fucking infrastructure, or talking about getting talk about the fucking future with this fucking issue that's going to inevitably happen with automation fucking getting rid of jobs and shit. Let's talk about things that aren't just the pet issues of each party for the people who toe the party line constantly and just want to appeal to whatever like the core base is. That's why we're always talking about shit like abortion or other like things that people argue about and bicker about, and we'll argue about and bicker about for generations to come, rather than trying to actually talk about the things that we can all agree on would be good for our country. And that's the thing that really pisses me off about politics the most these days.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
You know, but just look in the sake of progress, though. In order for society to progress, some of these jobs are going to have to be left behind. Like, look, and I always pick the most extreme example, but like, just think about all those guys that that was the Gestapo. That was like, at a certain point, they didn't have jobs no more. People wasn't like, oh man, let's read, let's find if all you good at is being a police to the Jews, then at a certain point, that job ain't gonna be necessary. It's just that's how progress happens. I'm glad there are no more slave master jobs. That's
sorry,
awesome.
sir. We don't need slave masters and Jew police anymore. I'm sorry.
And it's like somebody coming to me, but what about their families? Well, look, how about this? Maybe this is a workaround. If we got free college, like free state college, then the people that lose their jobs can go back to school, learn a new skill set, of trade, something that they're passionate about that they can do, learn that, get the education they need, and then re-enter the workforce.
Sure. But what about the people? What about the people who are already like living off like their job?
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't be able to have. They wouldn't have a source of income like while they were going to get schooling. Like you know what I mean?
True.
Like that's
That's true. Well, we need a solution to cover them. Like it's.
No, I agree.
Is,
all I want, because automation is inevitable. It's going to happen. So all I want is
it's
for us to
happening
have
now,
discussions. It's already fucking happening. I just want us to have the discussions and be fucking prepared for when that does happen. As long as that happens, I don't have an issue. We just need some type of fucking solution that's going to actually work so that people aren't fucking homeless on the street, because that's what's gonna happen if we don't do something before.
And see, that's the thing. Like, excluding the candidate who's talking about that the most from graphs and all that. I mean, like, even if you disagree with him, at least he's talking about it. He's initiating some kind of discussion. Mm-hmm. I'm willing to say that, like, without Yang, this discussion would have taken place, way later down the road.
Yeah,
like when it's literally too late to do anything about.
It's funny because like there are a lot of comparisons you can make between Yang and Bernie, because Bernie in 2016, he's changed the conversation. Have you seen? Everyone just wants to be, or almost every candidate that's honestly not Yang or Tulsi seems to just want to be Bernie. And even Tulsi sometimes seems a little bit like that. Like they all just want to. They're all trying to say pro Bernie things and like trying to appeal to his type of voters and shit. Like there's a few corporate fucking candidates, but even they've been dragged over by what happened in 2016 when a lot of people went over to Bernie, because that's the only thing the Democrats have now. That's the only thing that got them any enthusiasm. They know that Hillary fucking failed. So all the candidates, even if they're more like Hillary than they are like Bernie, they're going to try and look like Bernie and sound like Bernie and talk like Bernie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So,
like people want Bernie's ideas in a younger.
They do, and Yang is fairly young, and that's why I think that's one thing he has going for him. At least he's not going to get flogged with that stupid fuck. And I think it's bullshit, by the way. I think it's absolutely fucking bullshit. The whole Bernie's old argument, like, yeah, the motherfucker's old, but whatever. I don't think it's a good enough argument to be like, no, I shouldn't vote for this person because he's just going to fucking die. It's like, have you seen Trump? Have you seen his fucking physical shape?
Yeah.
Sorry, but like,
they'll tell. Look, I know a lot of conservative girls that would cut off their right titty if they could fuck Donald Trump right now. Just like,
dude, don't make me think of Donald Trump, fucking man.
Yeah. Look, he's tall and his fucking tie goes down to his meat, so it's like, what if he is just laying all kinds of pipe? What if he is just like, every time he fucks a chick, she just comes like 13 times? Donald Trump might be that guy. All right, we don't know.
Watch this. I know how to make you come 14 times in a row.
Yeah.
I'll know. You know what? I'll never do that again. I'll never do that
no.
again, SWEGTA.
Please don't. Anyway, fuck Amazon.
100 full-time workers
fuck
last
Amazon.
year. That is more than double the national average. Joining me now,
Wait, hold on. Did I fucking... 9.6 serious injuries per 100 full-time workers in 2018. So that's almost like 10%.
Yeah, about 10% of workers get injuries. Serious injuries.
And there's no, like, investigation going on? Like, if I open up, like, a hotel or something, and 10% of those employees were getting injured, would I not be under some kind of investigation by that point?
Would not if you're the richest man on the
I
goddamn
mean, yeah, it depends how
planet.
much money you're making, my dude.
God damn it.
Joining me now,
making
Michelle
enough?
Chen, contributing writer at The Nation, who wrote about these labor issues. She has a new NBC News think piece out today, looking into the cost of Black Friday for Amazon's actual workers. Michelle, what did you learn about the toll all of this is taking on those workers?
The focus on total
What do you think, Dora?
efficiency at Amazon is taking
Oh my
a
God!
bad toll on
Yeah,
workers' bodies as well as their mental.
No, it's Velma. It's Velma and Dora's fucking love child, man.
I was thinking Velma. You thought Dora.
Jinkies.
See that just shows the age gap between us. That's all.
Yeah, it really does.
Monty, who is that? Is that Velma or is that?
Oh, I think Velma. If y'all can still hear me, I'm having technical
we can.
issues on my end.
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Okay.
Mental health. There have been some pretty harrowing reports, like the Reveal investigation, about these pretty devastating injury rates at Amazon warehouses. There are over 100 fulfillment centers around the country, and they're really becoming a dominant force in the
I'm
warehouse.
just waiting for an
logistics
error to come around and click on the screen. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Just like in Dora the Explorer.
industry. And
Swiper, no
Amazon is
swiping.
in a position to really set standards for this industry, but as we see from these injury reports, that's Amazon's own recorded data, the injury rates are astounding. I mean, they're 2 or 3 times as high as the industry average.
You know what else is astounding? The fact that Amazon shows their employees propaganda videos. We played one of those on Underhaven. And it's like it's like this anti-union shit where it's like, have you noticed your coworkers befriending each other? You know, you should report that.
Oh,
it might be a
fuck
sign
that,
of them unionizing.
Shit.
Yeah, we played it on the show.
You know what
That's
else we showed on the show once? There was like a copyrighted like contraption that they made where it was like
the cage.
Yeah, the cage. Right? It was more like a cubicle, right? Like on wheels, I think.
No, it was a cage.
All right, yeah, let's be honest. It was just a fucking cage. They called it a cubicle, but it was really just like a fucking cage on wheels that could be like shuffled around. Like, all right, you see that thing that I don't know what they're fucking called. I'm a fucking zoomer, but that thing that guy's handling in this picture that we're looking at right here on this video, it was like, yeah. It was like one of those, but like a cage for someone to be inside.
Hold on, I got it.
It could move itself. Oh my god, you found it! You fucking found it! Oh my god!
I mean, look, how else are you supposed to sex traffic people with your Amazon purchases? Okay, that's what it is.
Look at that! Look at that!
Yeah, and for the record, you should not sex traffic people through Amazon. All right, use Craigslist like a normal cycle. The wage cage, is that what that says?
Wow, yeah, the wage cage 9,000. Oh, waggy cage. All right, waggy cage 9,000.
It's over 9,000.
I like 404 piss-soaked floor. Why not have that?
Wow.
Wait, piss-soaked floor?
This is a meme. This is not the actual.
All right. Yeah.
Did you think they were they drew like a crying Amazon employee when they proposed this?
Yeah.
So you drive yourself around in the cage. So I'm just saying, like the only jobs I know where you have to be transported, you have to work in the cage is like strippers, people that work at Amazon, and people that do Shark Week. That's it. And I feel like if that's the metric for your job, you probably shouldn't work it.
Look at this fucking contraption. It's even got one of those
let's say I run a business and like 10% of my employees are getting injured and I'm putting them in cages and I'm showing them propaganda videos. Would I not at that point be the most hated and investigated businessman of our age?
Dude, doesn't this seem like something like Dr. Frankenstein would create?
It does. Yeah.
It seems like something like you would fight a boss from like, fucking Metal Gear Solid in.
Yeah, it's a Metal Gear, dude.
He would like,
it's a
yeah, he would
fucking
like
Metal Gear. It can even move on its own.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like you would have
Metal
to, you would have to like do quick time events to avoid the claw. You know.
Yeah, that thing is creepy as fuck.
Yeah,
what is the claw for? Is that to grab products? I don't. How
To
does that
grab
work?
ass, dude. To grab ass.
Oh, that's your employee ass grabber because it's not sexual
Yeah.
harassment because the claw grabbed her ass.
Yeah. Oh my god. At least one
Average, it's
person would
more
use the
dangerous
claw.
than occupations like coal mining and logging. So it is, Amazon is should be held to account for some of these safety conditions.
No.
But what does that mean, hold to account? Are they violating any labor laws?
Well, they have been cited by occupational safety. And
Oh, here's something else fucked up they did. When I just want to point this out, like when people first started talking about Amazon being a really shitty place to work, what Amazon did was make a bunch of their employees create a bunch of sock accounts on Twitter, just like fake people that don't exist, and just be like, no, it's great. Never mind the fact that I made my account like 10 minutes ago, and this is the first thing I'm typing.
Wow.
It's awesome.
The
I love
first
it.
and only thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working at Amazon is wonderful.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I just said working at Amazon is awesome.
Oh, he was
My
telling
connection
Animancer
might
to
be
go
wrong.
ahead with the video.
Oh.
Health Administration, and they have faced.
No, you were saying something. I was just interjecting real quick.
Oh, he was. All right. He was that. Go ahead. Continue your thought, Monty.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything. I was just.
I was talking about you,
Amazon.
Hannibal. I thought you said
Who
you
the
had
fuck,
something
who the
to
fuck
say.
did I cut off? Because I'm confused right now.
You cut off Hannibal, man. You fucking cut off Hannibal. But
Oh, my
I don't think
bad.
he remembers what you were saying, so it's okay.
I'll be honest. Whatever I was about, I'm a little high. So.
Look how angry he is about it. You pissed Hannibal off.
Yeah,
See,
shit.
now SWEGTA and Hannibal are mortal enemies, just like me and Animancer.
We're
Holy
not,
shit,
though.
yeah, dude.
We're not. Dude, we would only. I would need to know your opinions of Eminem Stan before we become mortal enemies, SWEGTA.
I like it. Stand by Eminem. I think
There
it's
you
good.
go. Look, no problem. No problems. There you go. See?
So you better like the same music as I do. It's like, well, I do. So
That's not shallow at all. Not at all.
Dude, you know what that reminds me of? I was on Twitter recently. I don't think I've told this on the show yet, and I don't know. I made some type of statement in defense of Tulsi Gabbard or something. I made some type of tweet, and someone accused me of being like a Russian troll. And then I tweeted at them. I was like, I was totally like, fuck Vladimir Putin, fuck the Russian Federation, and fuck Russian imperialism. And then he was like, well, the money that you make probably originates from rubles anyway. So even though you're not Russian, it's like, wow, you can't even let that fucking go. You must think I'm tied to Russians, and fuck you.
Wow.
I'm glad I got to tell that on the show. Fuck that guy. If you're listening to this shit, then go fuck yourself.
yeah.
Some consequences, but the regulatory regime in this country is so weak that many corporations that are Amazon size are able to get away with a lot of rather devastating injuries, and even in.
Well, here's something else they do. They don't pay the same amount of taxes as they should. They worm their way out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tax havens and shit.
So they're fucking demolishing all competition, completely destroying normal mom and pop shops. Everywhere malls are dying, people are losing jobs, their employees are fucking miserable, and they don't pay a dime in taxes. Wonderful. Wow. Awesome.
Yep. They want to put employees in cages. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but they're putting them in cages to work, though. So remember that.
Yeah.
You've seen it. Amazon warehouses.
I want to read what Amazon told Reveal about its injury report. They said this: Amazon's injury rates are so high because of its aggressive about reporting their own worker injuries, and they're very cautious about allowing injured workers to return to work before they're ready. So they're basically making the argument it's because of their standards. They record every one of these possible injuries that we're aware of them. it seems like they're saying there isn't a huge increase.
Yeah, well, when you're...
I mean, 10%, that's quite significant, I'd say.
That's quite a lot. Yeah, compared to any fucking industry that we're talking about, it seems like quite a fucking lot. So...
Yeah.
a company that's Amazon's size, you don't really get points for honesty. So just because they're diligent about reporting doesn't mean that what they're reporting
How could there be
isn't
so
very
many
troubling.
serious injuries when you're just working in a fucking factory?
I mean,
Like,
basically
I know
what they're saying is, like, pat us on the back for being honest about the fact that our employees are fucking suffering.
Yeah, because at least we're telling you about it. At least we're telling you about the pain and stuff. We're not going to do
lying.
anything about it, but, you know, it's happening.
We're not gonna hide it, so, you know, it's fine. God damn it.
And I
We're
think that
being
a company
transparent.
with as much influence as Amazon, with as much capital to spend as Amazon, should really be adhering to much higher safety standards. And what labor advocates say is that it's built into Amazon's business model to focus relentlessly on efficiency and to put people under these really superhuman levels of stress. So many workers have reported even having their sleep disturbed, and they're actually suffering chronic bodily pain while they're working. So it's not just the acute injuries, though those can be rather egregious. It's actually just the relentless pressure that people are under every day. And this is
Especially now, during the holiday season.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure this is the worst fucking time to be in a place like that. It's really fucking shitty. Like, I don't know what else to say other than Amazon's fucking trash, and you need to treat your workers with proper fucking respect. If you're making... Jeff Bezos makes enough money that he could end world hunger in one fucking day. And that he could make that his legacy, and he'd be known as like this great fucking entrepreneur, but he's not willing to do that. Like, if
No,
I had
that's
that much
communism,
money,
Animancer.
if
That's
I had that much
communism.
money, if I had that much money, I'd do it in a fucking second. And I think a lot of
No,
people would too. I'm not some fucking saint for saying that. It just takes a
Fake news.
basic like fucking decent human being to have human empathy, and whatever. I don't know.
No.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Fuck empathy. We don't need that shit. We're good. All right. Well, with all that said, thank you, Hannibal. Thank you, Monty, for being on. It's been awesome. How's your show, by the way?
Oh, it's going awesome. Cool shit. Hannibal, you want to take this one? Tell them about the shit show.
Yeah. Okay. So my name is, as I said, what's everybody? Let me start this again. What's going on, everybody? I am Hannibal the Animal.
And I am Monty.
And we are Hannibal and Monty of Hannibal and Monty Shit Show. We have a weekly podcast right here on YouTube, where we broadcast on Wednesdays and sometimes Fridays, depending on how I feel. And we talk about music shit, political shit, comic book shit, nerd shit. We just talk some shit. We got some cool segments. You can come hang out with us sometimes. We have a good time on our show. We actually, matter of fact, our Jesse Lee Peterson recap episode is moving in to be our most watched episode ever. So thanks everybody for watching that. We had the opportunity to be on fucking Drunken Peasants and talking to Jesse Lee Peterson, which
Hell
was
man.
Unique to say the least.
Yeah, interacting with him must be quite the fucking experience.
Yeah. The best thing about being on it was that he didn't have a camera, so he couldn't see us. So he was just listening to everybody talk. And when he realized that it was like 2 people was black and 2 people was white, Jesse Lee Peterson was very like surprised. He was like, "Really? Like, so y'all look
so y'all like an Oreo cookie?" Yeah.
Man, come on, JLP, be better.
Yeah,
that's all. But yeah, we're Hannibal Monty of Hannibal Monty. I think there's a link down below, so go ahead and click that. Subscribe to our channel. We have an episode next Wednesday where Monty and I will be attempting to do an entire episode without cursing. So fuck that shit.
The YouTube friendly episode, huh?
Yeah, is that even feasible?
Yeah, we're doing one YouTube friendly episode. So we'll see if we.
Yeah, we're gonna see that. You can come by, like new subscribers get plunger points. It's phantom points that we give to our fans. But every month, the shithead with the most, as we call our fans, don't get mad. The shithead with the most plunger points gets we give a free item from our merch store. And so we try to monetize it, make it worthwhile.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, so there's that.
That's us.
I'm glad I'm not a guest on that no swearing show because I use fuck as punctuation, as you've seen on this app. Yeah. But these guys are hugely fucking underrated. You guys should go watch them. I will include a link to their channel below after this stream's all done. You can all just look them up, Hannibal and Monty, and I'll include a link later.
Search Hannibal and Monty or search 5H show in the search engine. You'll check us out. We got a small channel, but it's growing. So, definitely dig us. And I'm gonna go ahead and publicly call out Sweg right now because he was supposed to do our show and early this year, and something happened, and then he just was like, you know what? I'm getting my dick sucked. I'm not doing your shitty show. And I was like, no, it's a shit show. It's not shitty. So,
Dude, I wish I was getting my dick sucked. I was just hungover and I was sleeping.
God damn it, Swing. All right.
Yeah.
Look. Thank you guys for joining us. That was.
I'll be on sometime. I'll be on sometime.
Yes, we'll get you on. It's gonna happen.
Make it happen. All right.
Thanks for having us, though. All right.
Thank you.